All right. Well, from one indictment to another, we have a sitting president that seems to be in big trouble with the Republicans. Big trouble.
Ooh.
There are indictments, or at least there's an investigation on the way. And by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, and this will upset anybody that is on Lana and I's side. It looks as if Hunter Biden's official run for president may be over.
Oh man, I was gonna vote for Hunter too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope
Indictments.
maybe, and I don't know if I should say this publicly, but you and I will text back together about a plan to storm some sort of building. I don't know what building yet, to get Hunter out of this. But boy, are we mad. By the way, just side note, none of us give a fuck about Hunter Biden. Please understand that. None of us care, and none of us are stupid enough to associate Hunter Biden. By the way, this guy's spending money on gambling. He's my fucking hero. What are you kidding me? I love this guy. He's out gambling. He's out. Yeah. Anyway, we don't care about Hunter. We don't think we're not afraid of any association between Hunter and his father.
No.
We're not stupid. We don't buy into this stuff. And how any of you buy into this stuff by listening to the lead guy on this, James Comer, right? He sounds like a buffoon every single time he talks about this. And it's crazy, but let's start off with what the investigation so far has turned up into. Yeah, no, it's definitely laughable. But by the way, this is not the investigation for a impeachment. This is an investigation for an impeachment inquiry. Let's see what they've come up with.
No direct evidence between financial payments from foreign governments and the president himself. That is something that Republicans are trying to get to the bottom of, they say. But that evidence, when you ask them, they cannot confirm where that evidence exists. So that's a key component here.
Yeah, that seems to be a key component in every fucking investigation is evidence. What are we doing?
I mean, it's just like you just said. I forgot what you called it, but like, it's all a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to step back from all of this and just know it's a game. It's the game with the politicians, the media. She just reported on that like it was some big shit. When she knows, because as she had to follow up with, when asked, they don't have anything like. But they have to like make it seem like it's this big salacious. It's nothing. There's not. They've been doing this for how many years? Like, it's so.
She was the woman that was sent from the Weather Channel to where the hurricane was, and then no hurricane came through, and she was like, "Oh fuck! I mean, it's actually sunny here now. There's not even. I mean, the gust of wind might be up to 3 miles an hour." So I'm not sure we go, but I want to give, in fairness, there's a counter to this. Maria Bartiromo, we brought her up earlier from Fox News, had somebody on to discuss what the evidence actually is. So maybe this will change your mind, Lana.
Okay.
Take a listen.
Let's go. Is the most damning piece of evidence?
I think the most damning piece of evidence is the $5 million that came from Burisma that really kicked this whole thing off, because then Vice President Biden confirmed it in an interview. He said, "Yeah, I shut down that investigation that Shokin was doing in the Ukraine, and there was $20 million that followed that."
Yeah. So I want to bring this up real quick. He's talking about something that happened years ago when Joe Biden was vice president, is that he was on camera being asked about this whole Burisma deal, and the people in Ukraine were not investigating it hard enough. And or that he didn't, he wanted to remove anybody that may investigate this, and that he was so-called bragging about getting rid of the prosecutor. But I do want to share this article real quick if I can bring this up. Lana, have you learned this on StreamYard yet? How to bring up articles?
I haven't learned much of anything.
Okay. See, my problem is I have 77 windows open, and I did not prepare myself.
Do you kind of share your?
Oh, here it is.
Kind of like Zoom?
Yeah. Tell me if you could see this.
Yes.
Okay.
So you like sharing?
Yes, you could share whatever window you want that's open. You just hit the share window button.
Okay.
But this is a narrative that has been debunked, not only just by whatever news organization you want to, the CNNs, the MSNBCs that you say are biased, not just from the president himself, not just from other Democrats, but a Republican investigation impeached or debunked this whole thing too. But here's the play. The play is they know all they have to do is just give this idea that Joe Biden is crooked and he is, he's on the take or whatever it is they want to say, to try to get more people to look at Joe Biden and Donald Trump as the same person. So when you go and vote, you just go, well, you know what, this Donald Trump's better because he's going to be better for the economy and they're both criminals. But anyway, this is an article from Axios that basically debunks that House Republicans' impeachment inquiry into President Biden is predicated on allegations about the firing of a Ukrainian prosecutor that has been debunked under oath by at least nine government witnesses. And why that matters is the House will vote this week on formally authorizing the inquiry, the prelude to what many expect to become articles of impeachment against Biden for alleged bribery, abuse, and power of obstruction. I don't think that's going to happen. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan confirmed as much last week, telling reporters that that possible impeachable offenses mainly center on alleged quid pro quo in Ukraine in early 2016. I want to get to the part where it shows. I mean, actually, I wish I would have printed. I wanted to print that out because I can highlight it a little bit better. But the bottom line is this: is that this whole inquiry is based on stuff that's been debunked a million times, but they're just using it to try to fool the American public into thinking that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the same thing. That's really what it boils down to.
It's so stupid because common sense would tell you that they're talking about when Biden was vice president.
Yeah.
Wasn't Trump president afterwards?
It is.
So if Trump
100% true.
If Trump was president afterwards, and if they had stuff on Joseph Biden, then you would think that Trump's Justice Department would have moved on that to do something. Like, of course, you couldn't impeach him because he was out of office, but you can indict him on some stuff, right? Like, you could have called some stuff out, but he said nothing. There was nothing because there is nothing. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The problem is that, again, we understand they can try to fool each other all they want to. I mean, do you remember literally after Donald Trump even won the presidency, when he got in office, he formed a committee to go out and find out why Hillary Clinton showed more votes than him, because that could not have been possible.
Right.
They put together a committee. They came back and go, yeah, that was actually right. And it just dissolved and it went away and nobody talked about it anymore. You know, it's just, this is why it drives me so crazy. I really wish, and that's why I said that our news, our politics has become professional wrestling, whether it's mainstream media, whether it's whether it's Fox News, whatever it is, it's all just crazy, kooky bullshit that people buy into now. And it's more of a who talks better, who, has more, I don't know, whatever the polls are saying. It's irritating.
Yeah, at least they're honing in on him saying he's a dictator. Like they're really on that. Like I appreciate the fact that they are at this point taking it serious, taking him serious, outlining what will happen if this dictator comes into office. Like I'm glad they're at least doing that.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important too that we do get 1-2 of these cases in before the election too, so the American people do see that this is actually more serious than maybe even they're taking it at this point right now. Because I'm not sure that they are. I'm not sure that they really understand. You and I have talked about this before. 2024 is going to be fucking wild, and you're going to see something and stuff that happens in this country that you have never seen and that you never thought you would see before.
Yeah, I was just talking about that with a friend. And I'm like, wow, if we thought that MAGAs are bold right now and that Trump presidency was crazy, imagine 4 more years of that.
Yeah.
Imagine the MAGAs with Trump coming back talking about retribution. Oh, they're going to think they can do anything.
They will lose their minds. I was talking about this with somebody today, though. They're like, well, gosh, what if he loses? That might be more dangerous. Nah, it's not. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, listen, these MAGA people talk a big game. They talk a lot of shit. When it comes down to it, if he loses, they'll scream for a week or two and then they'll go away.
Because he's an old ass man. Like
he's an old ass man. And not to mention, they saw what the fuck happens to you when you break the law based on what this fucking idiot is telling you. And at some point they're like, you know what? That's probably not cool, because the lawmakers and the law officials are saying, you guys can't do whatever you want. You can't go and storm the Capitol. You can't go and cause violence because this guy, you will go to jail.
Right.
So I want to play a couple more clips. Jake Tapper, did you see him with James Comer? He literally laughed in his face.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, this one's worth watching because he was asking James Comer about his investigation into Joe Biden, and it's gold.
So we think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We think there are many more crimes. And my concern is that Weiss may have indicted Hunter Biden to protect him from having to be deposed.
Yes.
In the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday.
He indicted him to protect him. Yes. The classic rubric. He indicted him to protect him. I got it.
Well, look, this whole thing's been about a cover-up. You've got two.
That's why he indicted him to protect him, to cover it up.
Well, you indict him on the least little thing, the gun charge, and not paying taxes.
He's facing like 17 additional years in prison.
Yeah, but look what he's done. Anybody.
So that's really how all these people should be treated. Me personally, I hate that news has gotten to this point, but because it has, that's exactly how it needs to be treated. You need to laugh in these people's face.
Yeah, like, you're fucking stupid. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We're not going to let you just say any fucking thing. Like, stop playing right now.
Well, James Comer did not like that very much, so he had to run to Newsmax, and Newsmax was much more friendly, and they discussed this little exchange between Jake Tapper and James Comer. Let's hear how that went.
He's making your investigation sound like a joke, and he's trying to make you...
I'm not sure he's making it sound, but...
Oh my God!
And then half of America sees that, and they think your investigation is a joke. How do you work around that? How do you work through that?
Wow. Well, that's the first time I went on CNN in 3 months. We thought we would give it a try. Jake Tapper is an intelligent guy, but he's playing to a low IQ audience.
He's saying that
CNN
on Newsmax.
Is hemorrhaging viewers every day. And Jake's doing what he's told by his bosses at CNN, who are doing what they're told by their bosses at the Democrat National Committee. I mean, CNN is a wholly owned, unprofitable subsidiary of the Democrat National Committee.
You know you're a bullshit artist when you can go on Newsmax and say they have that CNN has no viewers and they play to a low IQ audience.
Right.
Classic.
Right. It's like you bombed on CNN, you look like a fool. So now everyone's like texting like, okay, we got to fix this. Come on, Newsmax, we'll spin it. And so here he is spinning it. Like, it's so wow. If you're not tapped in, I totally understand why some people get lost in it. Like, you just cannot follow. Like, some people literally say, I don't know who's telling the truth, because the right has put so much fucking shit out there. Like, it's not even the left, right? We're pretty consistent over on our side.
Yeah.
But on the other side, they're just throwing you all kinds of shit. If this doesn't work, we're over here. Like, it's insane.
Well, they did that with the attack on the Capitol, right? They one day it was Antifa and BLM, and it was the DOJ, but it was
changes, right?
Yeah,
Trump
then it was
the best economy, but he fucking had us in debt. Like, how can both things be true?
It's just it's the defense of a guy who's been a lifelong con man, and they fall for it every fucking time. I mean, the guy literally said, I love undereducated people. Why the fuck do you think he loves them?
That part, they heard it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And they just ignore it. Like, who did they think he was talking to?
Exactly. I mean, and they're all looking at each other like, hey, me, that's who's that in there?
Right, exactly.
Oof.
Was it the Democrats? Like,
yeah.
You guys.
I don't know, man. Like I said, 2024 is going to be wild, and we're almost there. What are we, fucking 19 days away?
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yep.